What's up everybody, GenExDividendInvestor here. In this video I'm going to tell you a bunch of fascinating insights about Dividend Investor subscribers from my YouTube channel and my Dividend Discord, including things like how much their dividend portfolios are worth, how many different stocks they own, how much dividend income they make each year, and a ton of others. So if you value seeing information about other dividend investors, then please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and click that bell notification. Let me give you a bit of info about my subscribers. So I uploaded my first video to YouTube in August of 2019, and I currently have 29,000 subscribers, and I also have around 7,400 users on my Dividend Discord. Since I started my channel, I've amassed around 1.85 million views on my videos. Using YouTube's admin tool, I can see that 1.1 million of my views, i.e. about 62% of them, have come from people watching me in the United States. Then 5.6% of views are from people in Canada, 5.2% are from the UK, and then it goes down from there with dozens of countries represented. Let's see how that YouTube geography data compares to data from my Dividend Discord, which people voluntarily share. I've created over 50 private country channels on my Discord, and you can see that the England channel has 72 people in it. My next largest country channel is Canada with 62 people, and then it goes down to the Netherlands, Germany, Portugal, and Australia in descending order. So my Discord user geography data is similar to my YouTube subscriber geography data, which makes sense because when I asked my Discord users how they ended up there, the majority said it was due to my YouTube channel. Let's look at another example. What percentage of my viewers are male versus female? Well, YouTube tells me that 93.8% of my viewers are male. When I asked that same question on Discord, I had around 246 people who answered so far. I put their responses into a pie chart and we see that 93.1% voted male. Thus, once again, it looks like my Discord user demographics are just like my YouTube user demographics. What about the average ages of my subscribers? YouTube shows me that about 11% are 18 to 24 years old, 36% are 25 to 34 years old, 27% are 35 to 44, 16% are 45 to 54, 7% are 55 to 64, and about 3% are 65 plus. I asked the age question on my Discord, and again the results are similar. Like YouTube said that 2.8% of my viewers were 65 plus, and my Discord said that 2.5% of users were 61 plus. Okay, now let's jump into some investing responses. I asked how much people's portfolios are worth. Going forward, I'll show you the responses in a pie chart format since that's easier for you to consume, though feel free to jump on my Discord and check out my #polls channel if you want to see the breakouts of all the data and if you want to vote for yourself. We see that 27% of people said that they have less than $10,000 invested. 15% have between $10,000 to $20,000. 13% have between $20 to $40K, and screenshot this if you want to see all the other percentages. Like you can see that 2.9% have over $1 million invested. So about half the people have less than $20K to $40K invested, and half the people said they have more. Of course, realize that this is just self-reported info on a subset of users. Most importantly, don't worry if you have less invested than someone else. If you're watching financial videos like mine, then that tells me you're actively working to expand your financial literacy, and that will help you make your tomorrow better than your today, which is where your attention should be. It's okay if you're at the beginning of your investing journey. Heck, most people never start, and regardless how much or how little someone else invests shouldn't make you feel happy or sad. It's like eating right or, let's say, working out. It doesn't matter if your neighbor is working out or not. What matters is what you do for yourself, in this moment and going forward, without wasting time dwelling on your past. And remember, these are answers from people who are on an investing Discord, thus they aren't the average person out there. They are, however, people that are focused on learning, which are the types of people you want to surround yourself with. Okay, let's look at how many distinct stocks dividend investors have across their portfolios. I asked people to count owning an ETF as one stock for this poll. We see that 2% haven't started investing yet. About 21% have 1 to 10 stocks total, almost 27% have 11 to 20 stocks, 21% have 21 to 30 stocks, which is the category I'm in, 18% have 31 to 50 stocks in their portfolios, and then 11% have 51 or more stocks. I'm guessing the median for the responses is probably 20 stocks. Okay, now for a really neat question. How much dividend income do people have? We see that 23% make between $0 to $200 a year, 14% get between $200 to $400 a year, almost 17% get between $400 to $1,000 a year in dividends, 11% make between $1,000 to $2,000 a year, 13% make between $2,000 to $5,000 dividends in a year, 13% make between $5,000 to $10,000 a year, 2.5% make between $10K to $20K a year, another 2.5% make between $20K to $40K a year in dividends, 1.9% make $40K to $75K a year, and then finally that tiny sliver up top says that 0.6% make over $75K a year in dividend income, i.e. 2 of the 321 people that responded. I'd guesstimate that $1,000 of passive dividend income a year is what the median amount of respondents are making. A fun thing I do on my Discord is maintain a spreadsheet where people can voluntarily tell me about their dividend portfolio, like how big it is, how much dividend income they make a year, what their top 3 stocks are in their portfolio, along with what percentage each of those stocks takes up. I make the spreadsheet viewable to everyone on my Discord, though I'm the only one that can update it, so people can message me their portfolio details if they're open to sharing it. Let's take a look at what people said. Here's the first of 4 pages of data in it, listed in the order that people shared them. I'll just go over the first person in each page so you can get a flavor of it, but feel free to pause the video if you want to look at each person. This page has 9 rows of people's portfolios in it. The first one listed is Fat Cash, who said he has a dividend portfolio worth $10,930 and that he makes $149 in dividends a year, and we estimate that his portfolio's average weighted dividend yield is 1.36%. And his top positions are Apple at 14% of his portfolio, Microsoft at 12%, and MasterCard at 11%. So he looks to be someone who's focused on growth more than current yield, which is smart if your goal is growing your portfolio size more than you need cash flow now to live. Okay, let's look at the next section of the spreadsheet, which has 10 people in it. The first entry on this page is from C. Libre Escalovano, who has a $470,000 portfolio that generates $15,647 a year in dividends, with a 3.33% overall yield. J&J is his number 1 stock at 9% of his portfolio, then 3M at 8.5%, and finally Microsoft at 6%. Let's look at the next section of the spreadsheet, which has 10 more people in it. The first entry on this page is Odintu, who has a $1,150 portfolio that generates $57 a year in dividends, with a 4.96% overall yield. His number 1 stock is Bank of America at 13% of his portfolio, followed by AT&T at 10% and SCHD at 7%. Okay, the final section of the spreadsheet has 7 more people in it. Braz Calc is the first entry and has a $17,000 portfolio which makes $349 a year in dividends, so it's yielding 2.05% overall. His number 1 stock is SCHD at 22% of his portfolio, followed by Degiro at 22% and then Apple at 9%. Okay, let's jump to some other interesting dividend polls I'm running. Here's one asking how many shares of Realty Income, ticker O, do people own? It's a well-known real estate investment trust that I'm long in. We see that about 1/3 of the people don't own any shares. Then 21% own 1 to 5 shares. Almost 25% own 6 to 20 shares of O. Then I'll skip a few until we see that 1% own between 101 to 300 shares, and finally 1% own over 300 shares of Realty Income. Nice. And then here's one about how many shares of J&J people own, another I'm long in. 40% of people said they don't own any J&J shares. 36% of people own 1 to 5 shares. Then I'll skip a few and we see that 2% own 101 to 300 shares and about 1% own over 300 shares of J&J. How about Coca-Cola? 42% of people don't own any shares. Almost 23% of people own 1 to 5 shares of Coke. 18% of people own 6 to 20 shares. And then I'll skip a few and then we see that around 5% own 101 to 300 shares of Coke and 1.3% own over 300 shares of KO. Okay, another interesting stocks poll is, do you like Nvidia, Intel, both, or neither? 39% of people liked Nvidia, 15% liked Intel, 22% liked both, and 24% didn't like either. Moving on, then I have a poll asking if people were buying Cathie Wood's ARK ETFs, and if so, which ones. Note, this poll was originally posted about 11 months ago, so you can still vote today if you want, and anyone can change their old vote. We see that the majority of people, i.e. 53% of respondents, don't own any ARK ETFs, then 15% liked ARK-K, aka the Innovation ETF, 11% voted for ARK-G, aka the Genomic ETF, 8% voted for ARK-W, which is about next-gen internet, and then it went down from there. Speaking of ETFs, I asked what other ETFs people liked. I'll just go over a few of the most popular answers. We see that 22% said SCHD, 15% said VU, 13.7% said VTI, and 11% said QYLD. Another interesting poll I ran asked people what they considered a dramatic stock drop to be. 54% said that a 10% drop was dramatic. 25% said a 15% drop, 14% said a 20% drop, and then 6% said that anything 25% or more was dramatic. As you listen to these responses, ask yourself what you think, or jump on my Dividend Discord and vote. Another interesting poll I ran asked how often people voted as a shareholder. 63% said they never vote as a shareholder. 18% said they infrequently voted. 6% said they frequently voted, and about 13% said they always voted. Another interesting poll I ran asked people which stockbrokers they recommended. First was Schwab, TD Ameritrade, and they had almost 23% of people recommending it. Number 2 was Fidelity at almost 21% of people, which is where my dividend portfolios are. Number 3 was Robinhood, and then number 4 was M1, another broker I use. Before I share other poll results, I wanted to mention that M1 Brokerage has a promotion running for free cash when a new user opens up an account with them. The way it works is you click on my M1 referral link in the description of this video, and then either open a brokerage account and fund it with $100, or open a retirement account and fund it with $500. Then you need to keep your money inside the new account for 30 days from the date of deposit to get the free cash. Over time, they've varied their cash promotions from $10 to $50, so I'm not sure what they might be offering when you click on the link, if anything. But it's free money, so if you've never tried them, then consider using my link. Okay, I also polled my international users on my Discord what their favorite broker was. Trading 212 was the most popular answer at 48% of votes. That was followed by Degiro, or Degiro, however you pronounce it, and Interactive Brokers. I actually did a video called Best Brokers that you might want to check out. Okay, another interesting poll I ran was when I asked people last year if they thought that the USA might have negative interest rates due to what was happening with the pandemic and the Fed and such. 75% of people said no, and looks like they were right. Okay, another insightful poll I ran asked how much annual income would you need to walk away from your job. The top answer was 50K to 70K with 23% of responses. Then 21% of people said over 100K a year. And that was followed by 15% of people that said 40K to 50K a year was how much they'd need to be free. I also ran a poll asking how many months of living expenses do people have in their emergency funds. We see that 11% of people have no emergency fund. 23% had 1 to 2 months saved up. 26% had 3 to 5 months. 22% had 6 to 12 months. And 17% had more than 1 year of expenses saved up in their emergency fund. Another interesting question I asked about 9 months ago was what do people plan to do with their stimulus check if they get one? 12% of people said that they would pay bills or debt. 6% said they would put it into savings. 61% of people said they'd put it into stocks. 4% said crypto. 3% said they'd donate to charity. 3% said real estate. And then there were a smattering of other answers. I have a variety of polls about crypto that are interesting, like what percent of your portfolio is in crypto, what cryptos do you hold, how high do you think Bitcoin will go in a few years, and stuff like that, but I won't go over those results in this video. Okay, here's a fun survey I ran on Twitter, YouTube, and on my Discord. It asked people which of these 5 options would they rather have. A guaranteed $100,000, a 50% chance to get $1 million, a 20% chance to get $10 million, a 5% chance to get $100 million, or a 1% chance to get $1 billion. 60% of people picked the sure thing of $100,000, which is what I'd probably go for because I'm about slow and steady and consistent gains. 31% voted for the 50% chance of $1 million. 5% of people took the 20% chance to get $10 million. 1% of people took the 5% chance to get $100 million. And 2% of people took the 1% chance to get $1 billion. Leave me a comment telling me which option you'd go for. Okay, now I'll share some other interesting analytics about my subscribers. Here's a chart that shows what time my viewers watch my YouTube channel the most, with the brighter the color indicating more people watch at that time. So for example, on Wednesday we see that lots of people are watching around 1 p.m. West Coast time. You can see that Saturday and Sunday is when most people watch my videos, which is also when I tend to release them. And then here's some data in terms of what type of devices people use to watch my videos. You can see that about 49% use their phone, 31% use their computer browser, 11% watch my videos on their TV, almost 8% watch on a tablet, and then a little over 1% watch on a gaming console. In terms of what other YouTube channels my viewers also watch, we see that Joseph Carlson and PPC Ian come out on top. Okay, another interesting poll I asked was about people's jobs or careers or what they're doing. 18% of my viewers are in some sort of schooling. 14% are in tech jobs. 13% are in business jobs. 9% are self-employed entrepreneurs. And then there are a bunch of others that you can screenshot or jump on my Discord to see and vote. So if you appreciate all that info that I put together and shared, then please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and click that bell notification. Thanks for watching, Happy New Year, and I'll talk to you again real soon. I am not a financial advisor, and these videos are for entertainment, inspiration, and educational purposes only. Investing of any kind involves risk. I am only sharing my opinion with no guarantee of gains or losses on investments.